back to Math&Me with me, Nikhila Sankar. So, in this video, we are going to learn about differentiability. So, we have finished what continuity is. Differentiability is a new concept. So, the first derivatives derivatives of composite functions. First, differentiability na you have to check if your given function is differentiable or not. Correct? So, if differentiable, I'll tell you this first. So I'm going to teach you this one first. So if the function is differentiable, it means that the left hand limit is equal to the right hand limit. Abdina enartham endha limit you have to see that your left hand limit, which is f of c plus h, and your right hand limit is going to be f of c plus h minus f of c. Adeda. So the only difference is that here you have h tending to 0 minus and here you have h tending to 0 plus. So differentiable na enartham idu rendume equal and finite. The value has to be finite. You cannot have 0 in the denominator. Correct? So this is your general way of representing that the given function is differentiable. So this you will not see in your example questions, but exercise question la kadasi 2 questions you are going to deal with this particular formula. So now what is theorem 3? Theorem 3 says that if a function is differentiable at point C, so a function, if it is differentiable at the point C, then it is also continuous at that point. Differentiable irundhuduna continuous avum irukkum solranga. Okay, so this how do you prove? You have limit x tending to c of f of x minus f of c gives you f dash of c. F dash of c is going to be your derivative. Okay, so derivative eppadi kandupidikano? Limit x tends to c of f of x. First given function appdiye eduthukono, then you have to take f of c, the value that you have to prove, divided by x minus c. Okay, so idu panna you will get the derivative of your given function. This is theorem 3. Okay, what is your theorem 4? Theorem 4 says that if f is a real valued function which is a composite of two functions u and v. Ipo rendu function irukku, ore function. For example, I'll give you an example. So you have cos of x square. So basically, how does your cos function look? It looks like this. You have cos x. Ipo x liye you have x square. So it means that you have function inside a function. Nammo continuity la paathom liya. To prove that the given function is continuous, na function of function g of h of x is also continuous if g is continuous and h is continuous. Andha mari. So when you have function of function inside a function, so you have composite functions. This is what we are talking about. Composite functions na onnukulla onnu irukku. So cos x eppadi nama paapom? Simply cos x. So here instead of x you are having x square. So you have two different functions. So you have function u and function v, which means function v of u. So in that v of u irukka. So suppose t is equal to u of x. So one function t in eduthuka porom, innoru function we are going to take it as v. Okay, so the v is going to be just like that and u of x is going to be t. So which means you can split df of dx is equal to dv by dt times dt by dx nu split pannalam. Okay, so this you will understand when we are solving one example, but in the method is very complicated when we are dealing with very big questions. Romba long function of function questions paakumbodhu this method is going to be very confusing. So we'll avoid this method, but I'll teach you with only one particular example. Okay, so ipo now moving on to example questions. Adukku munadi we'll just see the derivatives, function and its derivatives. Sin x or derivative enna? We have learned this in limits and derivatives class 11. Correct? Sin x or derivative enna? It is going to be cos x. Sin x or derivative is going to be cos x. Cos x or derivative enna? Minus sin x. Tan x or derivative is going to be secant square x. Cot x or derivative is minus cosecant square x. Cosecant or x, cosecant or derivative, cosecant x, cot x with a minus sign. Secant x or derivative is going to be secant x, tan x. These are some basic functions and their derivatives that you need to know. Okay, definitely therinjirukano. And root x or derivative is going to be 1 divided by 2 root x. E to the x or derivative enna? E to the x tha. Now you have a function which is in terms of product u times v irukku. You have two different functions which is in terms of product u and v form la irukku. Appo adoda derivative eppadi irukum? It is going to be v u dash plus u v dash. Okay, all this you learned in your limits and derivatives. I'm just revising. Okay, u divided by v la eppadi irukapodhu? V u dash minus u v dash divided by v square. Okay, and x to the n eppadi irukapodhu? N x to the n minus 1. Log x or derivative is going to be 1 divided by x. So these are some basic derivatives that you need to know. Okay, so please take a screenshot or copy them. Now moving on to example 21. Find the derivative of the function given by f of x is equal to sine of x square. So இந்த இடத்துல என்ன இருக்கு? You see that I have sine x is one function and x square is another function. Correct? ரெண்டு function இருக்கு. So what did we learn in this formula? So here you have df divided by dx is going to be dv divided by dt times dt divided by dx. இதை எப்படி நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம் இந்த இடத்துல பார்க்க போறோம். So here I am going to take my t to be x square. So x square na t எடுத்துக்க போறேன். The function that is inside sin x, I'm going to take it as t. So how will my sin x change? I'm going to take this as v of t is sin x. இப்படி எடுத்துக்க போறேன். Why am I doing that? What is v of t na? It is going to be x square, which is going to be sin x square. So I'm getting back my function. Correct? So basically v of t is my f of x. Okay. Now how am I going to differentiate this? I need to find df divided by dx. I need to differentiate the given f of x with respect to x. So I'm going to find df divided by dx, and according to the formula, what am I going to do? Df divided by dx is dv by dt times dt by dx. So I'm going to write that dv by dt times dt divided by dx. You have to be very careful on choosing which is your t and which is your v. Okay, அதை மாத்தி choose பண்ணிட்டா answer தப்பா வந்துரும். So we need to find what my dv by dt is. So dv by dt என்ன? v of t is sin x. So what is my dv divided by dt with respect to t என்ன வரும்? I'm going to have cos t. So in the இடத்துல instead of x I'm going to have t. Correct? My variable is a t here, not x. So it is going to be sin t. So I'm going to have cos t. The derivative of sin t is going to be cos t. So I found what my dv by dt is. இப்போ dt by dx கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். What is my t? It is going to be x square. So I am going to have dt divided by dx. I am going to differentiate x square. And the 2 will come down. The power will be reduced by 1. So I am going to have 2x. Derivative of x square is going to be 2x. So according to the formula, what am I going to do? df divided by dx is equal to dv by dt, which is cos t times 2 times x. dt by dx and 2 times x. Now you need to again substitute. What is your t? t is equal to x square. In the இடத்துல t இருக்கா, so அதுக்கு substitute பண்ணா என்ன ஆகும்? It is going to be cos of x square times 2x. So as you see, this is going to be 2x times cos of x square. You see that this method is very long and confusing. ரொம்ப ஈஸியான question. அதை போட்டு confuse பண்ணி வச்சிருக்காங்க. So இது easy methodல எப்படி solve பண்ண போறோம்? This is by applying the formula that you learned in your first slide. So இப்போ இந்த இடத்துல I'm simply going to use function of function ஓட derivatives. You learned this also in your limits and derivatives chapter, class 11. So f of x is equal to sin of x square கொடுத்திருக்கு. Okay. My f of x is equal to sin x square. So df divided by dx is equal to sin x or a derivative enna? Cos x. What is my x in this case? X square. But you see that the bracket kulla irukra term is not simply x. It is some x square. So you have to differentiate that also. The one that is inside the bracket. So d by dx of x square. Either simplify panna enna agum? Cos of x square times 2x. d by dx of x square is going to be 2x. So this is simply 2x times cos of x square. So you finished this question in just 2 steps. This is your answer and this is your answer using the formula. So இந்த இடத்துல டைரக்டா நம்ம தெரிஞ்ச derivatives யூஸ் பண்ணாலே ஈஸியா போட்டுடலாம். Functions of functions or derivatives. So I'm not going to use the first method in the rest of the questions because it is very long and complicated and very confusing also. So I prefer you also use the second method. Okay, but know the first method also. First method தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So this is my first method. And this is my second method. Okay, please copy. Now example 22. Okay, now how do you find the derivative of this? Tan or the derivative enna? First நம்ம general forms எழுதிக்கலாம். d divided by dx of tan theta is going to be secant square theta. இங்க theta enna? Theta is going to be 2x plus 3. அப்ப இந்த 2x plus 3 தனியா differentiate பண்ணணுமா? So what is the derivative of that? d by dx of 2x plus 3 is going to be 2x or derivative is 2 plus 3 or derivative 0. 3 is a constant, so the derivative of a constant is going to be 0. So இப்போ d by dx of இதுவும் கண்டுபிடிச்சாச்சு. Now let me find the derivative. So I have f of x to be tan of 2x plus 3. So df divided by dx. Differentiating f with respect to x. Variable ரொம்ப முக்கியம். Variable of differentiation is very important. Tan x or the derivative is going to be secant square theta. What is my theta in this case? 2x plus 3. But this is not simply theta, so இதையும் differentiate பண்ணோம். This is what we did, correct? So d by dx of 2x plus 3, which you already found out here, but I'll write this step also. So I have secant square of 2x plus 3 times, either derivative is simply 2. So my final answer is 2 secant square 2x plus 3. Okay, very, very simple. Please copy. Example 23. Now I have three different functions. Sine of, cos of, x square. First individual terms ku nama edhillama. So derivatives of d by dx of sine theta is going to be cos theta. d by dx of cos theta is going to be minus sine theta. We are talking about theta here, correct? So theta vache edhilla. So here I have theta. d by dx of sin theta cos theta, d by dx of cos theta is going to be minus sin theta. Now derivative kandupidikalama. So I have f of x to be sine of cos of x square. So one function pannalam. First I have sine. The derivative of sine is cos. So cos of, what is my theta? Cos of x square. So in the term appadiye ulla ezhudino. Okay. So this I am writing it inside this. Now I have idoda derivative kandupidikanum. So I need to find d by dx of cos of x square. Close the bracket. So in the term we have already found the derivative. Just keep it like that. So this term is done. Now d by dx of cos of x square. So cos or a derivative it is going to be minus sine. Always open a bracket. So sine of what is inside the bracket? It is x square. Now in the term munjudhu. Now I need d by dx of x square. The term that is inside. Correct? First we did sin theta, then we are going to do cos theta, now we are going to do the x square. So then I go cos of x square, the first term remains like that. Second term enna minus sin of x square, இது எல்லாமே multiplication. அதனால தான் minus bracketல போடணும். இல்லாட்டி cos theta minus sin theta மாதிரி ஆயிடும். d by dx of x square is going to be 2x. So what is my final answer? I have a minus here, so I have minus in the 2x. 2x times cos of x square times sine of x square. This is my final answer. Okay, very, very simple. Please copy.